Hello and welcome to Impact Online. It's yet another fabulous evening and it's great to be with you again. Welcome to it. If it's your first time locking your eyes onto this channel, welcome to you. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as to click on the notification bell so that you're alerted as soon as we go live. Remember, throughout the show today, I have got this device right in front of me, so I'm going to make sure that I can see exactly what you say throughout the show today. So if there's any comments or anything like that, you're more than welcome to get in touch. Now, you might be wondering what exactly is going on, what is happening. We are kicking off the second episode of the CFE, which is the Consumer Financial Education Show, in partnership with Heartlines as well as Nedbank. And alongside me, I have Lerato Jaxa. Last week, we had Jeff Tele, right? We were talking about financial health. But today, on this episode, the second episode, we're going to be talking about financial planning. Lerato, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today.
Great to have you here. Great to have you here. We're going to miss Jeff for this time round.
Yeah.
But he said to me last week that he needed to send in the professional. I don't know what it means. Jeff only knows what it means, right? So if we're sending in the professional, we're sending in the professional.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Lerato, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be jumping into the show right now. Can we sort of, first of all, can you give us an idea, rather the person listening and watching right now? Who is Lerato? Let's start there.
I'm Lerato. I am Lerato Jaxa. I am a mother of one, a 2-year-old who keeps me busy all the time.
I can imagine.
I work for a brilliant organization, Heartlines, and I am a lead facilitator there.
Great stuff. Are you the little one, 2 years old?
Yes. And married to a wonderful husband.
That's fabulous.
Yes.
So you've got some good support
Yes,
behind
absolutely.
you. Fabulous. Okay. Unfortunately, we're not talking about your husband
Yeah.
and your little one today, but we are talking about something that directly impacts them.
Right.
Hey?
Right.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
Last week on the show, on the previous episode, I was speaking about randelas, right? How we refer to the currency here in SA, right? And we talk about something I didn't say last week, but I wanted to say it, is when we think about financial health, we think that there is a healthy heartbeat on Madiba, on those notes, right?
Yeah.
That they go to the right place, that we spoke about actually a bunch of different things last week, Jeff and myself, but we're going to be getting a bit more concise, you and I.
Yes.
Okay. So let's jump into today. So we're talking about financial planning for one, right?
Yes.
And how it's a tool in aiding in financial health in our life.
Right.
Okay. So let's jump into what exactly, for someone who understood the previous episode, where Jeff explained really well what financial health is and the different aspects of it in an individual's life. When we think about financial planning, what exactly does that all entail?
Just before I get into that, Dylan, I just want to talk about the scriptural aspect of it as the faith-based people. We need to know that we are encouraged in the Word of God to plan for the future. If we read Luke 14 verse 28, it says, "For which of you wishing to build a farm building does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see whether you have sufficient means to finish it?" So we need to plan, and part of planning means we need to also plan for our finances.
Right.
So financial planning is an ongoing process.
Yeah.
It's not something that you just wake up and say, today I'm going to do financial planning and it's all going to go well. No, it's an ongoing process. You need to understand your finances. You need to know what is coming in, what is going out, as Jeff has explained last week.
Yeah.
So you need to know, prioritize. So it helps you, financial planning helps you to prioritize your spending. After you've spent, how much can you save? How much can you use and put away for rainy days? So financial planning is very, very important.
Yeah, very crucial in
very
individual's
crucial,
life.
yeah.
Right, yeah. I've mentioned to Jeff last week as well, how we are always, as much as this program is something that was birthed out of Nedbank as well as Heartlines, I like how we lead with scripture first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we refer to the Bible as the handbook for life here on earth. So the principles we're speaking about if they're there in scripture, we now just need to apply them into our life.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's get practical about that a bit more, and let's continue talking about financial planning
Yes.
today. So do you want to continue on that process, understanding the sensible way is what you're saying as well?
Yes. So, financial planning, when you start a financial planning journey, it gives you a peace of mind. We do know and we do understand that there are financial stresses. There are situations that we don't plan for that need us to use emergency funds. So when you have a financial plan, you will put this in mind so that when the emergency time comes, you are covered.
Right.
And so financial planning will help you through that process, and you won't find yourself in such a financial stressful situation where you don't have a peace of mind, or you can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Some people would know what I'm talking about, where you are sleeping at night and you are thinking, how am I going to cover for that?
Yeah.
And when we don't have a proper financial plan, we will find ourselves asking those questions and having sleepless nights. So we need, at some point in your life, actually as soon as possible, start with your journey on financial planning.
Yes. And I think it's one thing when we think about the rainy day, right? We've had a rainy almost 2 years, and it's most likely going to be a very rainy 5 years to come. Just recovering as a country economically, individually. Lots of people lost jobs, and lots of those things that, whether obviously it's situational, it's not something we could have planned for,
Right.
but having that, anything actually, that being said, nothing can be planned for, right? Not everything can be planned for. So if there is something that all of a sudden pops into a person's life, like you mentioned, and there isn't that plan in place, you sort of like there's that saying, a deer in the headlights, right? We could almost say we're a deer in the headlights at the moment. We've got a bunch of lights on us here, there's cameras watching us, there's you as viewers watching us as well, but we plan for this, so we're prepared for this. But if you aren't prepared for a financial strain that happens in your life, then you lie awake at night wondering, how am I going to pay these bills?
Exactly.
How am I going to cover what my kids need and what my family needs?
Definitely.
And just essentials in your life as well.
Yeah.
Let's tie things in a bit and land the plane of, well, rather, we're not landing the plane yet, but let's add to the load on the plane.
Okay.
When we say financial planning, how does this go towards other people as well? If we think about financial planning for everyone.
Okay. There's been perception that financial planning is for people with a lot of money. The truth is, anyone at any financial level, whether you get a stipend, whether you get pocket money, as long as there's money going through your hands, you need to have a financial plan. Because if you don't have a financial plan, then you are planning for financial stresses. So when you start having a financial plan, this will help you to run away from the financial mistakes some of us are still trying to run away from. So the earlier you start, the better. So we need to understand that you are never too old to start financial planning, and you are never too young to start financial planning. The last time we had a conversation about financial planning, I remember talking to someone, saying to them, it's very important that we start talking to our children at home about financial planning, because unfortunately at school they do tell us about money, but it's not in depth. But this is an opportunity for us as parents to start talking to our children about financial planning. They get pocket money. Can we help our children to achieve more with the little pocket money that they have? Imagine, Dylan, what would happen to a child that is learning to do financial planning at the age of 5? Where would they be at the age of 25?
Crazy.
Absolutely.
It all comes down to something that I remember, I think I was reading it in a literature book when I was younger, where it was basically this quote that said, if you are if you're failing to plan, you are planning to fail.
Exactly.
Right. It's the same idea. If you don't make a decision you already are making a decision.
Right.
You know, if you're not
Yes.
making an action, then there's not going to be any step to follow from that. That being said, you've now very briefly mentioned some of the benefits for children and
Yes.
roping in kids, that they understand the importance of budget
Yeah.
in their life. Not only budgeting, I mean, if you say that to a 5-year-old who just received £5 for the first
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
going to think, what do you mean budgets? I
Right,
have
right.
£5 and the sweets cost £5, so that's what I'm going to use the sweets for. But obviously when they get older, and it's about what exactly are you using your money for,
Right.
and when should you spend it, and when should you keep it.
Yeah.
If I think back to when I first earned my first paycheck, you have the sense of you want to reward yourself for
Yes.
working, right?
Yeah, we all do that.
We all do that, where we think
all
like,
do,
yeah,
yeah.
I worked so hard this month. It's my first paycheck. I want to now go and spend it on something I want.
Right.
Okay, it becomes a problem when it's every paycheck and you're rewarding yourself just for living.
All the time.
Which
yes.
is, doesn't really work in your
No, it
favor at the end of
doesn't,
the day.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's maybe unpack some of the benefits
So,
of financial planning.
so financial planning helps you to prioritize your spending. So you know, if you have a plan on your income, you obviously know what money is coming in.
Yeah.
So you will know what you want to spend your money in it for. You won't just, buying, sell, those people that just buy because there's a sale,
Yeah.
because not because of it was planned for.
Yeah.
So if you don't plan, you
Yeah.
will find yourself buying unnecessary things that you don't need. So
Right.
financial planning will help you avoid those kind of things. It'll also give you a discipline in terms of your spending and your saving as well. So it's very important that you know when to spend and when to save.
Yeah.
It'll help you with the unexpected financial shortage. We spoke about it earlier on, that financial planning will help you to put money away for rainy days,
Yeah.
those unexpected situations that we need to use money for. When you have a financial plan, some of the things that you need to prioritize is saving and is having an emergency fund.
Yeah.
So it will help you that way. It'll also alleviate the financial stress, like I said earlier on, and it'll help you to become realistic.
Yeah.
I think I just want to talk a little bit about that here. Earlier on, we just spoke about, when you get excited about your first paycheck. Sometimes we just go overboard.
Yeah.
And spend more money than you can actually afford. So when you have a financial plan, it'll help you realize that, okay, I cannot really afford to buy that, but I can afford to buy this.
Yeah.
It'll also help you to have measurable financial goals. So for
Yes.
instance, if you want to buy a car, you obviously have to look at your income. How much am I getting, and how long will it take me to save up to get a car? So if you don't have it, you know what you're going to do? You're going to just quickly run for credit.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a proper financial
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
So financial plan is going to help you and assist you in understanding your finances. It's very, very important that you understand your own finances, but also it's important for you to know that you are in charge of your finances.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the captain of the ship.
You are the captain of the
Yeah.
ship.
I think it's quite easy to lose focus of that,
Yeah, definitely.
especially when there's so many outward forces that can affect it.
Yeah. Oh, she's got it. I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, that's a good example, actually.
Yeah.
Seeing some of the comments also coming through on the YouTube channel. We've got direct to you saying relevant topic. Indeed. Thank you so much for getting in touch, as well as Inquisitive Kids also saying thank you so much, enjoying the topic. So also encouraging you, if you're watching right now, and if you want to just drop a comment, you can do that. Don't forget to also like the video, and as well as to subscribe and hit that notification bell, so you're aware when we do go live. This is a two-part, rather second episode of a series that we're running with Heartlines, alongside, in partnership with Nedbank. It's myself, Dylan Hartland, and Lerato Jaxa here from Heartlines. Really enjoying the topic about financial education, ultimately, right? Consumer financial education. We're all consumers. The way we buy things to consume them, whether it's food, whether it's electricity, we're always consuming. It's just
Right.
a way of nature.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah. So if you want to get in touch, don't forget to drop a comment down. You're more than welcome to do so. I can see everything right here in front of me as well. So if you have a question for Lerato, I can easily just shift this to her and she'll be able to see that. So that's just a reminder of that one over there. So financial planning.
Yes.
It's 2 words.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a complicated process.
Right.
Okay, when we say financial planning, someone right now might be thinking, well, how, why, and how do you implement it in your life? What, like we've now spoken about the benefits, you know, so I think we're quite understood about that one over there. But what are the processes that an individual can follow for financial planning in their life?
Okay. Before we talk about the processes,
Yeah.
I just want us to just to go into asking ourselves questions before we actually get to the processes. So it's very important to understand that financial planning is a behavioral change. It's an attitude change.
Right.
So you need to know, number one, you need to ask yourself a question. Number one, are you ready to take the responsibility of this journey? Are
Yeah.
you ready to take that responsibility? Do you believe that you can actually change your attitude towards how you deal with money
Yeah.
and how you understand money?
Yeah.
Number last, you need to understand and see the benefits of you changing your attitude and your behavior around money and start your journey on financial planning.
Okay. Yeah.
And then here are the processes that you can take in financial planning. Number one, you need to check your financial position. I just want to just stress this a little bit, that one of the things that we need to do, Dylan, is to be realistic and be truthful to ourselves.
Yeah.
Do not deceive yourself. You know, you are the one that knows what money is coming in, and you are the only one that can evaluate what money can come out.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that. What is your financial position currently? Gather all the information that you need. So if you know that you will need to buy a car, you need to gather all that information. If you know that you've got a bank account, you need to understand how much interest is going into my account.
Yeah.
How much am I paying for this, and how much am I paying for that? So it's very important that you ask questions. I know Jeff last week mentioned a little bit about that we need to go into a bank, walk into a bank and ask questions that you don't understand,
Yeah.
instead of coming at the end of the month and start crying. And those are some of the information that we need to gather when we are starting a journey to financial planning.
Yeah.
And then you need to set life goals. What are your life goals when it comes to your finances?
Yeah.
How is this behavioral change going to affect your future? You need to assess your financial status. You need to have a goal strategy. So you need to, like I said earlier on, you need to be very, very realistic, because if you are not realistic, then you are going to be discouraged and then move away from a good journey that you are about to embark on.
Yeah.
You need to monitor your progress. So every now and then you need to say, okay, I'm doing well, or okay, I need to change this and that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, you need to change or adjust your planning if necessary. So I think that is one of the mistakes that we do, that when we have a financial plan, when there's 20 rands more coming into your income, you forget to adjust your financial planning, and this can affect you, because of this is an opportunity for you to add into your saving, but because of you are not adjusting your plans according to your income,
Yeah.
then you find yourself in the same position as you were last year, and yet your finances
Have
are
increased.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very important that we put this in mind as we,
So a lot of it has got to do with evaluation.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
re-evaluation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Always re-evaluate.
Yeah.
But be truthful to you. You know, don't buy things or do things because of your peers have them. I think that this is one of the toughest financial issue that we have, that we do things because of others have them. So use your money for what you know your money can cover.
Yeah.
Don't try to stretch your money where you know your money cannot reach.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I was actually reading an article I want to say late evening. That's not really the right way of saying it. But yesterday evening, rather, I was reading an article and it was talking about big clothing brands, expensive clothing brands,
Yep.
and how they don't aim to necessarily sell to the richer market, right? They aim to sell at the individual who wants to appear richer.
Right, there we go.
So, and it's so successful. This journalist was just saying how that's how they make so much money,
Yes.
because they rope in that individual who walks into the shop and he asks how much this bag is, and then they say, X amount of money, and then they're like, no ways, I can't afford that. And then the sales rep will say to you, okay, go and buy it from another store then for cheaper. And then you're like, no ways, what do you mean? Because your pride's been hit now.
Right.
So you say, no ways, what do you mean? I can afford it.
Yeah.
Give me a wallet as well. Next minute you walk out spending way more than what you wanted to.
Right.
And only because you wanted
To impress. One of the lines that I've heard and it just keeps ringing in my head is, you impress people with money you don't have.
Sure.
This is what we said earlier on, that you need to be realistic with your finances. You know what is coming in and you know what you can afford to get out. So be realistic. Can you afford it? There's no point in you putting on expensive clothes and having a sleepless night because you can't cover some of the necessities in the house.
Yeah.
So you need to think about those things because your social well-being is also important.
Yeah. And when we think about finances, we also think about sacrifices, right? Because there's some things you need to be willing to let go to be able to, like you say, cover your basic bills. There's no use your friend can afford to have certain things in their life,
right?
And you also want those things. Obviously we all want good things for ourselves, if we can say it like that, but we need to understand that sacrifices need to be made. Because
and
it's your life.
Financial planning is about sacrifice. Really, because you need to know that if you used to buy a burger every day, you need to see an opportunity for you to save up from buying a burger every day. Maybe can we limit it to once or twice a week? And then take the rest of the money and save it towards the rainy days, because I think the rainy days are the toughest ones because we never actually think about them, and like you said earlier on, we don't plan for them. So it's important that whatever extra cent that you have, save it towards those rainy days. And one of the things that we will talk about later on is when it comes to savings is you don't have to start with 1,000 rands to save. Not all of us have 1,000 rands, but some of us have 10 rands. Can we start with 10 rands to start saving? So that 10 rands you look at it and you think it's too little, is something that can help you later on, and you'll be amazed at how much it helps you so that you don't stress. I mean, right now there's so much mental stresses, mental illnesses because of all the things that are happening. And we don't want to be adding financial stresses because of the hasty decisions that we make financially. So if there's something that we can change in terms of our attitude towards money, let's do it.
Moving on to this next point we wanted to make this evening, how does one know that they are getting financial planning right?
Art Williams said it very well. He says, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. Financial planning is not easy, but you need to see the worth in it for you to continue the journey. So it's important that you start with your financial planning. When you understand the impact of your journey, you will continue to hold on and fight until you get it right. It will certainly not take one day or 1 month. And you need to remember that this is a journey and this will involve a lot of sacrifice, like you said earlier on. So, for example, you'll need to give up some habits. You know, there are things that you can give up. You know, each and every one of us knows our habits, and sometimes there are habits that we have and we don't even think they cost us a lot until you actually calculate it into months.
Yeah.
Then you'll see how much money you would have saved. Let's just for doing its sake. You know what habits you have. You know what you spend your money on. I'll tell you my habit. I have a habit of buying scoppers. Those of you that know scoppers is like the sugary popcorns.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, so I buy like 5 or 6 of them per day.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's R1 each.
Okay.
So now you do the same with your own habit. You multiply that for 12 months and see how much money you would have saved. What can you cut out of your habits to help you towards your journey to good financial planning?
Yeah.
You also need to understand that you know, there's an opportunity for you to save here. So if you see that this is an opportunity for you to save, do the calculations, and then we'll talk in 12 months' time.
So there's already the first episode we've had. Lerato Jaxa is already giving you a challenge. So reevaluating, it's a good point. You know, the small things that we think don't accredit to anything. The same way you mentioned, if you all of a sudden are getting 20 Rand more per month, and you don't actually account for it in your financial plan, where does that 20 Rand end up going?
Right.
You know, I know for myself, if there's extra money that comes in, if I don't consciously say, okay, I'm going to take this money and put it in savings, you find yourself walking through the mall and there's shoes on special or there's something on special, and you think, oh, hang on, I've got that little extra cash that came in.
Right.
You know, so let me just, again, spoil myself or, you know, buy this thing just because I have the extra money.
Yeah.
I think we can sort of lose focus of the whole bigger picture of the plan.
It does.
You know, and I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? This is the aim of all of this. It's just informing people of that.
Yeah. So it's important that when you start with your financial plan, these are things that you need to consider. Budgeting is number one, saving, and then understanding what credit is. And as weeks go, we will be touching in all of these topics. But also another one, you need to look into retirement. You know, a lot of people we just put that away.
Yeah.
So the
For
sooner,
when I'm older.
yes, the sooner you start with your retirement investments, the better it's going to be for you. You want to, I mean, you are going to retire so beautifully. You are going to enjoy your retirement. So some of these financial plans, I include that. Include that you must add these things into your financial planning. Are you budgeting, and are you following through your budget? Are you saving your money? Is it going out every month as it should be? Have you started with your retirement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important questions to ask. As we're wrapping up today's episode, Lerato, is there any final remarks with regards to what we were speaking about on this episode, as well as any additional information for someone who's watching now? And also, first time they're hearing your name, first time hearing about the whole idea of financial wealth as well as health, and overall that banner CFE is what we're calling it, right?
Right.
Consumer Financial Education.
That's correct.
We want to educate you as a viewer and as an individual so that you can grow better. So over to you.
Once again, I'm just going to go into scripture. The Bible says in Proverbs 21 verse 5, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as the haste leads to poverty. So it's important that we do not rush ourselves in when it comes to our financial wellness journey. We need to take it step by step and 1 month at a time. So we need to understand this, and we need to grab it and know that we will get it right.
Yeah.
The most important thing at this point is for you to start. And when you start, you are creating, you are opening doors for your future. Now the question is, are you ready to step into your future? If you are, let's start with your financial planning.
There we go. So buckle up. This is the second episode. We've got a lot more planned in store. As you can hear, Lerato is just just beginning to share a little bit of the information that we're going to be giving to you. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss next week Thursday's broadcast, same time, same place, 6 p.m. right through to 6:30 p.m. Also a reminder of the other Heartlines broadcasts that we have on Tuesdays with Desmond Chauke as well as Jose Rankomise talking about Fathers Matter. And we've received a lot of good feedback with regards to that program. Lots of insightful information from Desmond and very realistic and thought-provoking statements and information that they've been sharing. That being said, Lerato, any final things in terms of if someone wanted to get in touch a bit more with this initiative and with you as well?
Okay, if you would like to find out more and probably read more on the CFE content, you can go onto the website www.netbank.co.za. You can also download the booklet. This will help you understand and get more information on what CFE is about and how you can be helped when it comes to your journey to financial health.
CFE is the name of it, Consumer Financial Education, with myself, Dylan Hartland, Lerato Jaxa as well, joining me here in studio from Heartlines. It's a program in partnership with Nedbank, and this is where we say goodbye to you. You must have yourself a fabulous day further, and we shall see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So from me, Dylan Hartland, it's a goodbye, and God bless you.